Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Ant on Music. I, of course, am your host, Ant, and this is our Record Store Day edition of the Ant on Music podcast. Really excited. Went to Record Store Day yesterday. I know I promised I was going to probably drop an episode before this one. To be honest with you, I felt like total crap. I'm not sure if it's allergies or a cold kicking in. So if you hear me sniffling, ignore it. If you see me coughing, I'll try and edit it out. But I have got a giant stack. You can tell it's already up here. It's not down here. Big stack of vinyl to get through. So we're going to get through that, and we're going to do things a little differently. I'm not going to go through every single album, show you every single sleeve, inner sleeve, stuff like that. For the purpose of time, I did a tremendous pickup yesterday for Record Store Day. I got almost everything I wanted. Okay, there were two albums I didn't get. One was one of the Motorheads, and the other one was Mark Lanegan, Bubblegum, which I have a 20th anniversary edition of. So, do I really need it? Probably not. You know, space is always a factor. But what I figured out what I'm going to do is this. The things that are colored vinyl, I'm going to show you those whole and entire. Otherwise, we're going to, we would be here for an hour and a half. So if you're new here, please subscribe. If you haven't been here before, or even if you have been here before, click like, drop a comment, love the conversation. Going to keep the chit chat to as much as a minimum as I can because, like I said, so much to get through. I do appreciate your support. I do love when people join the channel. I love it when people, comment and, give the thumbs up. All those things, all those interactions help with the algorithm, right? And it gets this out to more people and, like anybody else, you like to be appreciated and, you want to see the channel grow. So that's that. Without further ado, and I'm going to do this alphabetically as well because there's no good way to do this. So first thing that I picked up, Alcatrazz, Grand Bonnet, and Yngwie Malmsteen and Company, all right? This is a two album of the studio album, No Parole from Rock and Roll. And it comes on some lovely colored vinyl, all right? And, you got some good tracks on here. You got Island in the Sun, General Hospital, the big one, Hiroshima, Mon Amour. Good album. And it's on two different slabs of vinyl, different colors, so we'll show you both. Got that as well. Also got Krina Corey, Star Car Lane, and a bunch of others as well. Bigfoot, Incubus. This is a young Yngwie Malmsteen stepping into the spotlight before his big solo turn. Great stuff, and I'm really happy to have this on vinyl. I've never owned it on vinyl before, so I'm really thrilled to get it. I mean, you can see how young Yngwie is there. Very cool. Take a look at the track listings. Next up, what we have here is Black Sabbath. And this is listed as a Black Sabbath album, but in reality, it's really a Tony Iommi solo album. Talking about 7 Star, featuring Black Sabbath, featuring Tony Iommi. It's the 40th anniversary, newly remastered from the analog tapes. And this is also on colored vinyl. Very cool splatter vinyl right there. And, it's got some, got some good tracks on this. It isn't Sabbath, it isn't Black Sabbath, but, for what it was, you got Glenn Hughes on here. You got Jeff Nichols. Some talented people on this album as well. All right, and I'm happy to have this on vinyl. I've never had this one on vinyl either, so it's another great addition. I wouldn't buy it if I didn't need it, right? Or if I didn't have it in my collection already. Next up, one of my favorite artists of all time, David Bowie with Excerpts from Outside. And this comes on crystal clear vinyl, okay? As I always say, nightmare vinyl, right? And it also comes with a booklet as well. So we'll take a look at that. And with that, what do we have here? Let's peel this out. Trying to go as quick as possible so we're not sitting here for an hour. So this goes along with, I believe it's the Diaries of Nathan Adler is what Outside was based on. Okay, from the mind of David Bowie. And, this has got some excerpts as opposed to the strict album running of the same name. And David Bowie's estate is still putting these albums out, and for fans like me, it's it's a must-have. And you got on here like Leon Takes Us Outside. You also got Outside. You got The Motel, and you've got edited versions, things of that nature. You take a look right there. It's hard to tell with the writing on this, even if I peel the shrink back. Still kind of hard with the font that they used. Next up, this is somebody that's he got a lot of love after he passed away. Jeff Buckley. This is a first time on vinyl. It's on black vinyl, so I didn't even bother opening it up yet because, like I said, time constraints. Good track listing on this. Okay, Love It, You Should Have Come Over. Of course, Grace, Eternal Life, Kick Out the Jams, Lilac One, Dream Brother, Hallelujah, and What Will You Say? So very cool. Glad to have this one. Next up, this is one I was really excited to see that it was on the list for Record Store Day. If you grew up in the 80s, 70s and 80s, you had like two camps. You had the hard rock and heavy metal camp, and you had like the new wave and punk camp. And the Cars were definitely one of those bands that were in the new wave end of things. And this is their Record Store Day release. I'm unsure if this is the videotape re-released for Record Store Day, because they have done it in the past with things like the Thompson Twins. I don't care if it is or it isn't. I don't have the videotape anymore. And this is on Nightmare vinyl as well. Crystal clear, 2 slabs of it. And this is the Cars at the height, the absolute height of their fame. This is, just stunning. The tour starts off in California and ends at JFK Stadium for Live Aid in Philly. And what a track listing. Kicking off with Hello Again, It's Not the Night, Touch and Go, Candio, Good Times Roll. I mean, just really classic Cars tracks one after another. Jimmy Jimmy, Moving in Stereo. If anybody's ever seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High, if that was part of your era, you know how important that song is. Just What I Needed, A Dream Away, Cruiser, Drive, You Might Think, My Best Friend's Girl, Magic, Let's Go, Heartbeat City, and You're All I've Got Tonight. And this is from September 11th of 84. Really, really cool. I'm glad to have this. If I'm correct, I think this might be the only live Cars album to see the light of day, officially. So regardless whether there is or isn't, great tour from the Cars. Absolutely love Heartbeat City, and glad to have that on vinyl. Next up, this was one that was really sought after by a lot of people. There was only one in the store that I went into, and I gotta give credit. I should have said that at the top too. I spent Record Store Day at a local store in Bethel, Connecticut, close to where I live, just over the border from New York in Bethel, Connecticut. Run by the Esposito brothers and expertly staffed by James. So I want to give a big thank you to John and Dennis over at Disc and Dat in Bethel. If you're local to that place, go and check them out. They always have great stuff in the racks. They do an awesome job with Record Store Day. That's why I keep going back there time and time again. And they're great. If there's something they can get a hold of for you, they will. They got one of these, and I grabbed it. Mirrorball cover, metallic silver LP. This is called Weapon of Choice, and it's by The Cult, which is the demo versions, early versions of Choice of Weapon, all right? And I am a major Cult fan. I absolutely adore The Cult. And to get this and like the joy I had when I saw that it was there for me, I was like, yes, The Cult, Weapon of Choice. And we got Aurora, A Pale Horse, The Bones, Staccato, Elemental Light, Gibraltar, Twisted and Bleeding, Militant, Supreme, and Lucifer. So this is Record Store Day only release. Very, very cool. And that's another thing I should mention. When I go out for Record Store Day shopping, all right, obviously the first thing I'm looking for is stuff that I really, really want. Bad news is for me, I have a lot of musical interests. I listen to everything from new wave to punk to jazz to, hip hop to heavy metal, prog, you name it. So to pick out something, it's hard. It's hard to narrow down that list. And even with narrowing down the list, I managed to get most of what I wanted. But there was probably, if I went through the list again, there'd probably be one or two more that I would like to pick up too. Who knows? I may. This is another Priest live entry, live in LA. This is on the Painkiller tour back in '90. Got that there. Got the track listing there. It's it's obviously not the complete show. Who knows? Probably down the line we'll get the complete show. We got Riding in the Wind. Then we've got the theme song for all gatherings of the GOP and MAGA with Grinder. Heading out to the highway, Between the Hammer and the Nail, Bloodstone. Better Than You, Better By You, Better Than Me. Leather Rebel, The Green Monolith with the Two-Pronged Crown, the cover by from Fleetwood Mac, and Hellbent for Leather, and one of my all-time favorite tracks, You've Got Another Thing Coming. All right, next up, Basic Black Album. This is Little Feat's debut, okay? And the cool thing about this is, and I have an original copy of this in my collection, is the second LP, okay? The second LP has rarities, or as they like to call them, hotcakes, outtakes, and rarities. You get Wait Till the Shit Hits the Fan, Dog Line, Strawberry Flats, Hamburger Midnight, Snakes on Everything, Crack in Your Door, Crazy Captain Gunboat Willie, Rat Faced Dog, 44 Blues, How Many More Years, Truck Stop Girl, Willin', and Jazz Thing and 10. And that's in addition to, the original album. Some of the similar tracks, different versions, rarities, outtakes, things of that nature. Next up, more metal. Megadeth, okay, officially released on limited color vinyl, includes 4 bonus tracks that were only from Japan. Hidden treasures, all right? Plain sleeve, do get an insert. You get the track listing there. Very cool stuff. No More Mr. Nice Guy, the Alice Cooper cover, which I absolutely love Mustaine's version of this. Breakpoint, Go to Hell, which I believe is from the Beavis and Butthead soundtrack, one of them. Angry Again, 99 Ways to Die, their cover of Paranoid, Diadems, Problems, which is a Sex Pistols cover. Here we go. Coffin starting. Atulaman, Symphony of Destruction, Architect of Aggression, and New World Order. And those are all either radio edits or demos. Bear with me because I don't want to die on you guys. I'll probably edit that out. Gonna soldier on. Freaking allergy season sucks. So we're gonna keep going with the metal. And as I said, I got one of the 2 ones that I wanted on Record Store Day. And believe it or not, I've already received notification to pick up the second one because I got up and got an email that it was available somewhere at Darkside Records in Poughkeepsie. So, Motorhead, Lost Tapes continue. This is Motorhead and Lemmy's 50th birthday concert from the Whiskey. Got a great track listing. Kicking off with Ace of Spades, Sex and Death, I'm So Bad, Baby, I Don't Care, Over Your Shoulder, Metropolis, Stay Clean, Liar, Burner, Orgasmatron, The Chase is Better Than the Catch, Born to Raise Hell with Whitfield Crane of Ugly Kid Joe, Sacrifice, Going to Brazil, Kill by Death, Bomber, and Iron Fist. And this is also on crystal clear vinyl. Next up, we're going to keep it towards the, more like towards the glam metal end of things. But moving to the East Coast. Not sure who's left of the original band. I'm not sure anybody is. Maybe one member. New York Dolls. Love this album. This was a reunion album. You get a couple of sleeves. Also, on crystal clear vinyl. It's like hermetically sealed in there. Like I said, allergy season is kicked in and it's kicking my ass. Next up, colorful vinyl. More of it. Tom Petty includes Vintage Tour Pass live at the Paradise Rock Club 1978. So you're talking about the advent of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. There's your pass. It's just like the real ones. Very cool. And I like the sleeve design on this as well. The vinyl on this is gorgeous. Pretty cool looking. And it's got a good track listing too. Anything that's rock and roll, Don't Bring Me Down. You got the intros of the band. You're Gonna Get It. Breakdown. Too Much Ain't Enough. Shout. I Fought the Law. I Get Your Kicks on Route 66. Or Get Your Kicks on Route 66. And I'm a King Bee. So very cool Petty live album to add to my collection of Tom Petty stuff, who I'm a big fan of. I consider myself fortunate to have seen him a couple of times as well. So next up, there were a couple of big box sets in there as well. This one I was really psyched for. Pink Floyd, live from the Los Angeles Sports Arena, April 26, 1975. It's a bootleg that has been restored and remastered by one of my favorites, Steven Wilson. All right. And what a track listing on this. Raving and Drooling, You've Got to Be Crazy, Shining You Crazy Diamond Parts 1 through 5. Have a Cigar, Shining You Crazy Diamond Parts 6 through 9. Then you get Dark Side of the Moon, Speak to Me, Breathe, On the Run, Time, The Great Gig in the Sky, Money, Us and Them, Any Color You Like, Brain Damage and Eclipse, and they close out with an encore of Echoes. Talk about an awesome live album. I cannot wait to dive into this. Obviously, I haven't opened it, but I think that might be the first thing to land on the turntable. Next up, the other big box set, and this was one that people were really clamoring for. Bruce and the E Street Band live from Asbury Park. It is a monster 3-hour plus concert with the E Street Band. And it's a good mix of stuff because it's later in the career. You know, much later in the career, you get Lonesome Dave. Then you go back to Blinded by the Light. Does This Bus Stop at 82nd Street? Growing Up. Promised Land, Spirit in the Night, Thundercrack, East Street Shuffle, 4th of July, Asbury Park, Sandy, Into Hungry Heart, Local Hero, Atlantic City, Tougher Than the Rest, Long Walk, Racing in the Street, Because the Night, She's the One, Wrecking Ball, The Rising, Badlands, Thunder Road, Meeting Across the River, Jungle Land, Born to Run, Rosalita, Dancing in the Dark, 10th Avenue Freeze Out, Twist and Shout, and Jersey Girl. I mean, phenomenal. This is probably going to be second on the turntable if it doesn't beat Floyd to it. We're going to go with another live one. Lots of live stuff always gets released on Record Store Day. And I'm here for it. I love the live stuff. Steely Dan, Alive in America. This was recorded during their 93-94 tour. Classic tracks, Babylon Sisters, Green Earrings, Bodhisattva, Reelin' in the Years, Josie, Book of Liars, Peg, Third World Man, my absolute all-time favorite, Kid Charlemagne. Is there gas in the car? Yes, there's gas in the car. Sign In Stranger and Asia. All right? And those are all on black vinyl, so we're not going to go through them. You know, because I still got more to go through. Next up, Rod Stewart, Atlantic Crossing. This is the alternative version. Alternative artwork. Alternative versions of the tracks. And a very cool Drift Away Blue vinyl, as they're calling it. Pretty cool looking stuff. And this, like I said, it's alternative versions of that original album back in the 70s. I do have an original copy in my collection. This time we get Three-Time Loser, All Right for an Hour, All in the Name of Rock and Roll, Drift Away, Too Much Noise, which is an early version of Stone Cold Sober. I don't want to talk about it. Classic track. It's Not the Spotlight. This Old Heart of Mine with the MGs. Great track. Still Love You, and the classic Sailing. Next up, coming up to the 90s. This one was recorded in 2001. The original lineup of Stone Temple Pilots. And your eyes aren't deceiving you, that photo is a bit blurry. And this is a 2 LP set. It is on canary yellow vinyl. Plain sleeves. It's got a good track listing on it. And each of the labels has a member of the band on it. Scott, one of the DeLeo brothers. You get Kretz in the and the other DeLeo brother on there. And this is a good track listing. Never got to see STP live. but I do dig them. And this is a great, a great place where they were at as far as, material. This was on the Shangri-La tour. You got Coma, Vaseline, Me Plow, Big Empty, Piece of Pie, Sour Girl, Creep, Days of the Week, Tripping on a Hole in a Paper Heart, Long Way Home, Hollywood Bitch, Interstate Love Song, Plush, Down, Dead and Bloated, and Sexy Type Thing. Next we got up is a limited edition 2 LP set, first time on vinyl as per the sticker there. Demos for CBS of the Talking Heads, and this is a killer track listing as well. Psycho Killer, no pun intended. Sugar on My Tongue, Thank You for Sending Me an Angel, I Want to Live. I Wish You Wouldn't Say That, The Girls Just Want to Be Girls. Who Is It, With Our Love, Stay Hungry, Tentative Decisions, Warning Sign, I'm Not in Love, The Book I Read, Love Building on Fire, and No Compassion. Next up, we have Van Halen. Now, a little bit of controversy about this stuff. This is one of those things, and it seems that this is one of the things Rhino Records is doing. This was put out, this is originally the Live Without a Net, all right, which came out on video cassette many, many moons ago. For those of you that are younger, go look at what a video cassette is. But this was from the 5150 tour. And I went back, and I've said this on a previous video, I went back and checked out the set list from that night. They did not include the entire set list. Don't be fooled. Did that stop me from getting it on vinyl? Absolutely not. All right. But Rhino has done this before. They put out the box set, then they put out a live album that accompanies it. That's included on the box set. I'm sure there's more than one night. It's probably easier, cost effective for them to just use what's already there. But as a big fan of Van Halen and any band, I would like to see something that hasn't been out there before. Take like the Floyd, the legendary bootleg, right? Things have been booted forever. You give it to someone like Steven Wilson, clean it up, make it sound good. All right. And they did eliminate some tracks on here, but it's still a strong album. You get There's Only One Way to Rock, Summer Nights, 5150, Panama, Best of Both Worlds, Love Walks In. Good Enough, you get a guitar solo, I Can't Drive 55, Ain't Talking About Love, Wild Thing, Why Can't This Be Love, Rock and Roll. You don't get the drum solo and you don't get the bass solo, and you're missing a couple of tracks like You Really Got Me and a couple other things. If you want to see the comparison, go to Setlist FM. Look up the date for this one, which was August 27th in 86 in New Haven, Connecticut, and you'll see what's missing. It's edited well. It doesn't really matter, but still, it's just to me, it's just one of those things that kind of pisses me off. Finally, made it to the end. How about that? Tales from Topographic Tours. Yes, this is a 3 LP set, all on black vinyl. You get all of Topographic Oceans represented here. Plus, you get And You and I, The Court of Life, whole and entire, which includes Eclipse, The Preacher, The Teacher, and Apocalypse, and then all of Close to the Edge. So that's damn good. 3 LPs, and you get basically a couple of whole albums thrown in there as well. So that's excellent. All right. So that is everything that I have to show you from this year's Record Store Day 2026. Like I said, I apologize for the all the nasalness this week, much more so than usual. I will try to drop. I do have the other Motorhead that was out there coming in, or being picked up, I should say. And I still haven't shown you a couple other things that I've gotten in the mail, so we're going to get to those as well. And I hope that I'm a little clearer the next time I do this. But I thank you all for checking out the channel, helping the algorithm with your comments, likes, and of course by subscribing to the channel. Until next time, I am clearing out. Peace, one love, music, and I'm out.